Hello again, it's Debbie from acrylicpouring.com, and I'm having a little bit of fun in my spare bedroom this evening working on another ceramic tile. It's just a plain economy 6" by 6" ceramic tile, and in the last video I worked on some peacock colours and did a swiped in a zigzag kind of direction, got a really interesting effect. And I've got a few more colours today. They're similar to the others, but what I've done is I've changed up the colours a little bit. So I had quite a bright green, had this green before. I've changed up to a darker green. I also had this blue and I've swapped out to a darker blue, and I've gone back to my gold. And I thought what I would like was maybe some the same kind of colour, so more of a kind of peacock colour range, but this time more with a negative space with some white around rather than, oops, messed up there, rather than just, oh goodness, paint everywhere, rather than just swipe the whole tile. Oh, that tile's got a crack in the corner. I'm going to swap that one up and get a different one a second. Okay, that's better. I've got a new tile. So what I'm going to do is try and create the same kind of colours, but with a bit of negative space, and I'm going to use a flip cup with some negative space. So we'll see what happens with that. Again, it's something I've not tried before. So what I'm going to use is this blue cup that I had before, and I'm just going to mix my colours straight into here. So I'm going to add a little bit of white to start with. Not too much, because I'm going to have some white in my negative space. And then I'll add in some of these other colours. So the colours are all pretty much mixed as standard. They're 1 tablespoon of paint along with a ½ tablespoon of Floetrol, a teaspoon or so of water to hopefully get the right consistency, and then a couple of drops of silicone. My cat doesn't seem very interested in my painting this evening. He seems more interested in asking me to give him some extra dinner. So I may have to break off and go and do that if he's going to continue screaming at me. So it'll be interesting today to see how these slightly darker colours are going to work, and also be interesting to see how I work with a flip cup. Oops. And then try and surround it with a bit of negative space. I still might swipe if it doesn't come out as I like. I've got the white paint around the outside and I still might swipe it. So we'll see. I like to keep my options open because you never know what's going to happen. So let's tip that up on there. And while that sits for a while, I'll fill out some paint around these sides. I'm also interested to do it this way because often when I do a flip cup I find it difficult to work out exactly how much paint I need, and therefore if I don't have enough I end up having to tip it a little bit more than I might like. And sometimes the shapes that I had and the cells that I had get lost in the tipping. So this way, we'll see what happens. I've got a little bit of extra paint which I can use on these sides, and it gives me the kind of negative space around the outside that I'm looking for. Again, if I don't like it, it gives me the option for swiping in all kinds of directions and all kinds of options. So options are good, right, when you're starting out, because it's art, but it's a very unpredictable art. You can pick your method and you can pick your colours, but you really can't determine exactly how things are going to work out and which colours will end up being dominating in your pour and things, especially when you do a flip cup. You really don't know which ones will end up on the top sometimes. Okay, so I've got my white around the outside. It's ready there for swiping if I want it, and also for rolling off if I want it. So let's see. I'll zoom in a little bit and we'll see what happens when we flip cup. So I'm just allowing the extra paint to run off and create a little different and interesting patch on the side here. And then we'll just wait and see what develops. So I've got a lovely ring just there, a ring of gold with a ring of green and then a ring of blue, which is really nice. I like the way the colours are mixed here in the drips, and this is nice the way it's leaching out. I've got some blue and the gold there leaching out slightly into the white. I've got too much paint though to be able to leave it completely here in the centre. I'm going to have to do something a little bit with it. So should I torch it first? Let's do that. Let's give it a little torch first of all. Wow, These blues are coming through really beautifully there. I'm going to just lightly torch it first of all, and then I'll see about spreading it around a little bit. Okay, so that's helped eliminate some of those bubbles that I had. Got lots more small actions here, and interesting, a beautiful area of a really deep blue over there which doesn't have much going on, but this is nice. Come on, Kath, give it a break for a second. I've already fed him. He's as fat as a house already. Okay, so let's give this a little bit of a tilt and see what I can create with it. I do like it when the patterns go off over the edge and create, you know, beautiful edges to the design. I don't want to actually lose a lot of this drip area. That was really quite nice. I liked that a lot. So here is starting to get a little bit stretched, so I'm not going to go too much further, just enough to let some of this drip off on that side. And then maybe let's set it down and take a look. Yeah, that's nice. I like that the way it is, but without feeling that I need to do an awful lot more to it. It's got the kind of, you know, the negative space that I was looking for, but at the same time it's not, it's kind of irregular. So it's not, you know, just plunked in the middle with white all around the outside. And the patterns are going beautifully over these edges on all four sides now. All the edges are covered. Oh, there's a little bit of white just there I could add in one corner, but I've got some white drips. There we go. Check those are all good. Wow. Well, I'm delighted with this again. These colours, they really appeal to me. The green and the blue with the gold. Now I wonder if I should try and add a little more gold. Now here's something I've not done before, so let's just go for it, shall we? I've seen people drag little streams of accent colour through, so I'm just going to try and do that with my stick here. I've got a beautiful little stream of accent gold there. Let me see if I can add a little bit more without it being too drippy. And that looks nice. Oh, nice too. Okay, so I'm liking that. So let's see, where have I got some areas that I feel could do with a bit of gold. A little bit here. Adding it in a curve looks nice. Maybe a bit in amongst this green. If I hold the stick just above the surface of the paint and let the paint run down, and hopefully I'll keep the stick clean. So here's something new. It's always good to try out a little something new. In the blue there, it looks really nice. I wonder if I should dare disturb this area. I maybe should do a little bit more over on this side. Looks nice in amongst that white too. So it makes like a little teardrop effect if I drop it and drag it. That looks nice. So I'm a bit reluctant to do something here because it'd be quite obvious, but it's turned out nicely here in the blue, so maybe I should just go ahead and do it. Hey, you have to try, don't you? You have to try these things. I think I'm going to add a little bit of extra water to this gold and just make it a little bit thinner so that it flows off the stick a little bit thinner than it is doing now. And then I might get some finer lines. So let's try and do something a little bit here. No, that still wasn't very fine. It's quite thick. I think that's enough. As much as I love my gold, I need to quit while I'm ahead there, don't I? So, shall I give it another torching and see what happens? I'm not sure that was an improvement or not. It's certainly created some beautiful lacing here where the gold is now moving out. Oh, and this area here has gone really beautiful. The gold has also moved out here and the blue is now breaking out into the white. So broken up, oh goodness. Yeah, the longer I leave it, the more beautiful now that's getting. It has broken up here a little bit more than perhaps I would wanted. But overall, I think I have another success on my hands there. It has turned out how I wanted. The colours look really nice. And the gold accents, I think when this dries, it's going to look nice too. So let me bring you down, show you the details. So here we go. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. These colours together are really nice. Lots of action here with all the different cells and everything breaking through, and the gold with the blue, and the way it's feathering into the white on the edges. Really nice. So another one that I'm happy with. That makes quite a few in a row now. Absolutely delighted at how things have been going with these colours, but I think I better quit while I'm ahead now and move on to something else. I've very much enjoyed using the blue, green and gold together to make kind of a peacock colour. And of course I'll come back as usual and show you what this looks like when it's dry. Well, it's been an hour and I keep coming back and looking at this one, and I kind of like it, but I'm thinking I can do better. It's a bit too broken up, too much white, you know, in areas like this and here. I'm thinking I can do better, so I'm going to scrape this one, wash it, and I'm going to reuse this and I'm going to do something better. So that's all what art is. Art's an experiment. You like it in the end or you don't. Sometimes it's an accident. This one, I like it, but not enough. So I've decided to do it again. Darn it, I just cannot decide. I wiped this over with a cloth, just with a tissue to try and get some of the paint off. And look what happened. And now I really like it again. It's very sea-like. It's got lots of great detail now. The white is a bit more balanced. I'm not seeing so much green. There's a little bit specks of gold and thing in here. And I've got all these pretty small cells. So now I'm going to leave it again a bit longer and see if I like it. Good gracious. Art certainly is a mystery. I'm really loving it. And I'm also loving all this paint which I just swept off down onto the plastic here. So I don't know, what shall I do? I think I'm going to keep this because I really like it now. And I'm also going to keep this.